Coming at you live, it's Sunday Stories.
I think so many people are keyboard activists, right? Everybody's good at sending a tweet about how the world should be, and nobody's doing anything about it, and that is just very much human nature.
I'm tired of CEOs telling me that, millennials these days don't stick around very long. Leaders set the tone.
Hello friends, and welcome to another episode of Sunday Stories with me, your host, Fahrim Shirinzade, where we cover ongoing headlines and meet interesting fucking guests. In this episode, I have the honor to have an amazing fashion designer whom has won the Professional Skateboarding Championship in the US, was also one of the founders of the world's leading skateboard magazine, Transworld, and the founder of the skateboard company, Svea. But not to forget the internationally successful clothing company, Odd Molly. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big welcome to a living legend, Per Holknecht. How was that description of you, man?
That's pretty good. I was going to continue on that list, but
really, yeah,
we'll stop at that for now.
Right.
We'll get to more.
I did read a LinkedIn post from you that you listed a couple of things that was quite incredible for your life. One specific was really interesting, and that was when you said that in 10 countries you had been in jail. I think it was something like that.
Overnight imprisoned.
Overnight imprisoned.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's all, it's true. It's been, actually it's 11.
11 countries.
Yeah, I sort of turn spiteful and playful when I'm drunk. The drinking side of me is an episode of its own, since I have a life as an addict, and it's a companion that I'm not always proud of having played with.
Right.
But I'm not ashamed of having played, because those nights in Hotel de Police, it's all results of playing.
Yeah, but I gotta ask, what did you do?
Anything from being in Germany at the World Championships of skateboarding, and me and 3 friends, we saw a tiny little silly police car at a red light, and we decided to lift it up and walk away with the cops in it.
No fucking way.
And
lift it up.
Yeah.
How strong are you?
Well, there were maybe 6
Couple
of
of
us.
them.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it was a silly little car, and 2 cops inside, and
Jesus
so we walked
Christ.
away with the car with the cops inside. And it's probably illegal, but it's not a crime.
Well,
It's just stuff like that. And
yeah, that's regular stuff that people do on Fridays.
yeah,
Right.
We've all done that.
Yeah, definitely.
But I've lived a life with few limitations, I guess.
Yeah. But what country was the worst to be visiting, by the cops?
Oh, I think Spain.
Spain.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a time where I wasn't aware what was going on in San Sebastian with the ETA and all of that.
Yeah.
And me and a close friend of mine, we'd been up in the mountains at some restaurant getting drunk, and we came back to town, and the whole city was shut off.
Huh.
And it was all about terrorism, which is
Yeah.
something I learned about later. And so the cab driver dropped us off outside of the city, and he said, be careful when you walk into the city. And I guess we just didn't listen. Then I saw a police van with like 10 soldier officers inside with the shotguns and all the outfits on. And I decided the side sliding door was open, and I found it sort of intimidating. And so I crawled across a lawn all the way up to the van, and I just jumped inside, and I shouted like, boom.
Oh my God, that's the worst.
Yeah, that wasn't very smart. And so they beat the living fuck out of me, and broke my jaw and whatnot. And only once in the police station they told me what was going on, and there had been the police had shot a terrorist the day before.
Wow.
And they were waiting for retaliation.
Wow.
And I had no clue. I was just drunk, fucked up, and a skater. Just silly stuff. And,
Wow.
And yeah.
But that's what makes you a living legend in my eyes, man. Because you say you have no limitations, but some people, they have too much limitations.
Yeah, there's I could have been a little bit more careful along the way. But I grew up. I was a very good student in school. My mom was the principal of my school. My father was the chief of police of my hometown.
Wow.
Lots of expectations on a child who
Yeah.
was also very good at math and all of that. And so I rebelled when I was 15.
Of course.
You know, and that's no big surprise. You know, because you want to have friends, and my friends didn't even dare to come to my house.
Wow.
And so I wanted to show, my buddies that I wasn't going to be like my folks. But it was in 6th grade in school.
Right.
I had, top grades in everything. And I decided to change that. I wanted to go bad. My grades went from top to bottom. And then I ended up on the outskirts of good kids.
Yeah.
And so the offsprings of us, we started shaping our own little community. And it was skateboarding that united us, kids that had a troublesome school growing up.
Yeah.
So we built our own little world of taking care of each other and giving each other, the love that society didn't give us, really. And we invented skateboarding, and we invented all that came with it. We built our own world. We built our own skateboards. We made our own clothing. We started making our own magazines, and it was the best schooling for me as an entrepreneur today, looking back at those days, because we had to invent our own world.
Of course.
And I talk about the magic of the tiny moments, because I've started a publishing company that in the end had a lot of, it was big. It was later bought by one of the bigger publicists. And I have to thank skateboarding for that, because we wanted to learn how to make a magazine. And a lot of the kids, they didn't even learn English in school.
Of course.
And they started reading skateboarding magazines, and they spoke fluent English thanks to skateboarding.
That's amazing.
And they got lives, and we all turned into, creative little motherfuckers.
Did you have a computer by that time?
Oh, no.
So you were basically writing
No.
pen and paper?
We didn't have calculators. I
Right.
mean, no, it was all handmade. My first magazine that I made, it was something called Lettre Set, which was big sheets of letters that you rubbed onto paper.
Huh.
And I made a whole magazine called CP Skateboard News, just rubbing letter by letter by letter. It was all crooked and analog, but it had its charm.
Creative as fuck.
And it led me on to a path to later become a publicist.
Yeah.
And as a skateboarder, I got better than my friends, and I don't think I was better, but I was the only kid who was using skateboard pads. But at the time, there was no such thing as skateboarding pads, so I had to wear hockey gear. And I looked like the worst geek, but I dared more than my friends.
That.
I got hurt less than my friends. I dared tougher tricks than my friends. And one day I said to myself, I certainly don't want to quit skateboarding the way I do, but I want to quit looking like a fucking dork. So I asked my mom to teach me how to sew, so I could make myself a pair of big, huge fucking pants to hide my hockey gear underneath. And that's where my fashion career started.
Damn. Wow.
And those are the little tiny moments of decisions that you later in life. I turned 60 a week ago yesterday.
Congratulations, man.
When you look back in the rear view, you understand what made your life. It's not the big ringing the bell at NASDAQ, which I have done. That's not the big moment, The moment is the tiny moment that started it all.
Of course.
That's why I say to kids out there, do a lot of stuff. It doesn't have to make sense.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to have a huge plan. People today, they say, oh, get up at fucking 4 o'clock in the morning. You got to have really, detailed targets and goals. And I say, no, just do a whole lot of fucking stuff. Because later on in life, you'll look back and you'll understand that it wasn't the wisdom that took you there; it was the craziness that took you there.
But I feel like that's really hard to combine with the rules and the expectation of the society today. Because the society, in certain countries, it's even worse. If you don't have a education of a higher level, you are, seen as an outlaw.
Well, yeah, I think that I'm an entrepreneur mainly because I can't get a job.
Yeah.
I apply for jobs all the time and nobody wants me.
That's crazy.
Somebody said, you got to take away a whole lot of stuff from your CV because you've got too much. I mean, I have one so far. I think
Never heard that before, man.
No. But how often when you read an ad for a job do you read, we're looking for someone who was actually awarded Swedish Export Company of the Year, Corporate Founder of the Year, Designer of the Year. You don't see that in ads.
No, definitely not.
And I have 18 of those of the year.
Yeah.
So if I take away 17 of them, they can probably pinpoint one skill that they're comfortable with.
True.
But I can't get a job now.
But you have multiple jobs. I mean,
I
read
work.
that. Right. Yeah.
But people don't hire me.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, you have so much content out there.
Yeah.
And you know what I love about your being active in social media is that you're one of the few people that actually says the truth or trying to make some sense. Other people will go like, hey, I hope you had a great day and here's some facts about how to have a company.
Yeah.
But you're actually like...
And then they quote Steve Jobs.
Exactly. Exactly. But I don't remember when you posted it, but it was about having copyrights for branding, I think.
Well, branding is my greater passion in business, yeah.
And you said something that you tried to explain for the CEO how important it was to have the ownership of the brand.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think he said no, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And what did you do?
Oh, I registered the brand.
Exactly.
Well, I see it all the time. I like to register brands because, like when Donald Trump, you know, his mistweet some years ago when he wrote Covfefe. Do you remember that? C-O-V-F-E-F-E?
No.
And he was the laughingstock of the world for a couple of days. And I figured that one day there's going to be a U.S. election and that word is going to be held against him and it's going to be worth something. So I went and registered the word that he mistweeted. Jeez. And that's how I work, you know.
Wow. How many do you have?
Nah, I don't have a whole lot. I have maybe 15.
But that's hell of a lot more than people have, you know?
Yeah, and then I challenge brand names like I own Miss World. I own the world's biggest webshop.com.
Damn.
Just little, you know.
So you just sit at home and you think about what's next?
The most important thing for me is now I try to protect companies that I work with.
Right.
And I work today with a Swedish water company that is exploding right now. It's you know, it was voted the number one flavored water in the world last year. I'm helping them to internationalize. I can't say the names straight out because
I see.
I'm in the process of working with the trademarks. If we have people listening right now, they're so busy with their product or their service that they're going to sell, and they have a product and service focus that is 100%. They want to be better than everybody else. They want their product to be better than everybody else's. It's not. It's probably great, as good, but it's not better, you know. And they think that the product is going to win the battle. Yeah. The product ain't going to win the battle. The battle is won by sales strategy or branding strategy.
Totally agree.
Probably both.
Agree.
And you got to learn to see the difference between product and brand. Those are two completely different things. The product is what it does. The brand is what it is. And if you want to, let's talk Corona for a moment.
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
No, pre-Corona, you know, we had capitalism.
Yeah.
Capitalism means maximizing profits. If you have to kill people, but you got to maximize profits. Those are called ugly profits. And for the future now, we got some acceleration through COVID-19 that is going to lead us towards beautiful profits. Yeah. Customers are going to buy conscious profits, and they want to associate with brands that are clean, clear, beautiful, honest, and have a purpose or a passion.
Right.
And up until Corona, the older people, such as I, or people around me, we were laughing at the kids coming out there, you know, with their fists raised. They're taking over. They're taking fucking over.
Definitely.
And they're making their parents listen. They're making their parents change, their cousin change. And soon we will come to a point in the marketplace, and it is very close, that these people will be in majority.
Yeah.
The product that was conscience clean, that used to cost more, will now be consumed by more people, and prices will level down on the clean product.
Right.
And the ugly product, the price is going to go up as demand lowers. Right. So we're going to see a huge turnaround now that is coming through digitalizations and beautiful profits. something is also included in what we call the fourth industrial revolution.
Yeah, right.
And we're right now in the middle of it.
Do you have any examples for products that are on the way of this? The demand is going down and the price is going
Everything that says ecological before it. Coffee,
Right.
cotton,
Yeah,
used to cost more.
yeah,
But if we buy more of it, prices will go down.
definitely.
And the non-ecological will go up.
Right.
And this is actually a win-win situation. So the only thing is that companies that are now led by old people, they don't believe in the future.
Yeah,
Kodak, some years ago,
exactly.
they said, what's a digital camera? Let's not take that seriously.
Crazy.
And on Monday, 172,000 people were feeding fucking pigeons
Yeah,
because they were bankrupt. We got to start listening to what's going on.
exactly.
And, and embrace it instead of fight it.
It depends what kind of leader you listen to. Some leaders say, it's very inefficient to be the first mover, right? From a branding side or a product side. But in marketing or branding, there's a thin line of being on the edge.
I think that people are, or companies or corporations or brands or products are competing all together on a vertical ladder, which means that they're trying to be better than the other ones.
Yeah.
And trying to be better than everybody else in everything, in every matter, is costly, and it's short term, and it's basically impossible. It's so much easier, cheaper, and far more fun to take a different path,
Yeah,
to go to the side.
true.
And also, if you try to be perfect and beautiful and the best, that's fucking provocative. I hate people.
Yeah.
I hate people that are trying to be perfect, beautiful, and
You
best.
mean every kind of
Because
influencer?
we have nothing in common.
Yeah.
But a person or a brand that is human and heartful and humble,
Right.
I want to hang with that one.
Yeah.
If it's also a little bit of spiteful and fun and crazy, that's mine. Let's talk brand in a more clear example. Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good brand.
His product is football,
Yeah.
scoring, bicicleta. His brand is the lion, the courage, the craziness.
Yeah.
That is as evident as to product and brand as you can be in a perfect combination. And if you ask yourself, if you run a brand today, or you listener run a brand today is perfect, by the way, in COVID-19 days, to change or add to the brand. Ask yourself, in 3 years, if you ask a stranger about your brand, what do you want them to say? What does it stand for? And that you start working on today. And understand that brand and product is different. If I say to you, what is brand? Tell me about your brand. If you say, oh, it's a technical product that will solve this. No. That's not the brand. That's the fucking product. That's the football.
That's true.
We love courage because we're cowards. We have courage within. So if somebody stands up and shows courage, we follow, but we don't take the lead. And we love people that have courage to challenge guys bigger than themselves. People always go for the little guy in a fight. Let me give you an example.
Absolutely.
Greta Thunberg.
Yeah. Wow. She really made a voice.
The world's smallest voice,
Yeah.
thinnest personality,
Yeah.
challenges the world powers. And like a fucking science fiction movie,
Yeah.
she's shaking hands with
She
the
blew
Pope.
up.
She's hugging Merkel. And she's getting shit by Donald Trump.
Exactly.
So people follow courage for the ones that actually challenge powers bigger than themselves.
Yeah.
Or now the ugliness from ugly business in the past. Monsanto. They're fucking dead any day. Banks. The greediness from the banks.
I know, right?
There will come alternatives that are digitalized beyond fucking reach.
They already exist.
Yes,
you know?
and they're taking over.
Yeah.
Because the more people that buy them, the cheaper they get, the better they get. And the more we expose the greediness of the banks.
True. That is true.
Oh,
No, it's very true.
let me give another example.
Yeah.
I ran a skateboarding distribution company back in the late 80s. And we did exceptionally well. I mean, we earned huge money and we took over the marketplace. We awoke something that had been asleep for a while. But it was a short stock turnover time for each product, and we ended up with a whole lot of dead stock. And then I came up with this exquisite idea that how about if we launch these fucking old skateboards as brand new in Poland?
In Poland?
So we went to Poland and opened up a skateboard shop and launched our product because the information that these products were actually old didn't reach Poland until a year later.
Smart. Wow.
And then we did the same in Hungary and so forth.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but that wouldn't work today.
No, it wouldn't.
Because information is too quick.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah.
Have you seen the documentary of Fire?
I've never seen a documentary.
You never seen a documentary?
And I've never listened to a podcast.
Wow, okay.
I haven't read a book since 1972.
And you know so much.
I don't watch movies. I don't listen to music. No.
Well, no music at all?
No.
Wow.
Passively, but I don't.
How do you live, man? I mean, like,
I think.
Yeah.
I think, therefore, I am.
Yeah. But when you take a walk on the streets, I mean.
That's my perfect entertainment. That's my dream. Because I can watch nature. I can watch people. I can watch reality.
That's incredible.
And trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. I can look at people. How do they feel? What's the mood like?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that lady over there. Am I the only person that sees that she's lonely?
That's something that you have that I think that the younger generation doesn't have.
No, they don't.
And
they have tunnel vision today.
Yeah. But because we think that knowledge has to be collected in seconds, and we always want to get that first, get that news first, and get that new music.
But it's already secondhand smoke. Once you have it, you share it with 10 billion people.
Yeah, definitely.
I think the last book, I actually, I'm terrified of flying, so I decided to learn how to fly.
Amazing.
So now
by yourself, right? Like
well,
you can fly by yourself.
I had a teacher, but now I'm a certified pilot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are we talking about like a small Cessna
it's
plane?
It's a single. I can fly a Cessna 157, 177, but mostly Piper Cherokee PA-28.
That's amazing.
But that was only to prove to myself that fear ain't gonna stop me.
Yeah.
And
like you haven't.
Then I had to read books. I had to read books because there's a lot of theory behind it.
Right.
But I don't read books about management or leadership or.
Wow.
However, yesterday at 6 p.m. I finally turned in the manuscript for my new book.
What? But you had to read that one, I guess, and write.
Well, I read what I write.
Right, exactly. So that's your second book.
But that's pretty much what it's my choice to live my life as what I call on stage.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit on the stands and watch the stage. I want to be on stage in my own life, and I want to understand or believe or at least think that I am in the center of my own movie.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's the choice that I've made. And it may not be a good choice, but it has worked for me. I am a kid who, since I was very, very young, not necessarily have liked myself very much. I still don't. My self-confidence is low. My self-esteem is low.
I wouldn't say that.
Yes, it is.
Right.
When I'm with others and so forth. When I'm alone, I'm okay. Because then I don't fall into comparison.
Yeah, right.
But when I go to an award ceremony and they give me a trophy calling me digital influencer of the year, I'm saying to myself, what the fuck is wrong? I didn't even know I was one.
Right.
And how did I fool them?
Yeah.
And that's pretty much how it goes. No, I don't think I'm good enough. And that's probably what makes me good.
Yeah, definitely. Because you're humble. You're definitely super humble.
I try to be. I try to see people. I try to see people if they're lonely.
Yeah.
Or if they're cold.
You had a conference, and I just loved the opening, when you said that you get stressed by intelligent people, and that you were going to take lessons in Excel, but you were probably going to cheat. And, that kind of says a lot about your personality.
Yeah.
And makes the audience actually listen to you.
I don't remember that speech, but I have to believe you. I've done so far 1,289 speeches.
Amazing.
And I haven't had a manuscript yet, and not a PowerPoint yet.
I saw that too.
Yeah, I don't. Wow. I've never made a PowerPoint.
Yeah.
I've never made an Excel sheet.
Do you know Excel now? That was a couple of years
ago.
ago.
I do my budgets in Word.
Wow. Your bookkeeper must be going crazy.
No, I'm pretty good with numbers.
Wow.
I can calculate. I can do things in my head. I will do it like you're supposed to.
Definitely.
And then I step inside that old fucking box, and I
Exactly.
don't have a box.
I was just going to mention that because the hardest part of thinking outside the box is because you have a box and you basically what do you have? You have your brain.
How big are those boxes? You guys want to come inside my box?
I would love to.
No, people would fucking
I would
freak
love to.
out. No, you don't want to come inside my head.
Really?
Because no, it can't be turned off.
Wow.
Have you ever sat down with a girl and you ask her, "What are you thinking about, honey?" And they say, "Nothing."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "What the fuck is
Happens
going
all
on?
the time.
How the hell do you think
Yeah.
about nothing?" I think fucking all the time.
That is true.
Once I finish one thought, bam, comes the next one. They're standing in line.
But how do you sort them out? How do you decide which one is worth your time?
I do one thing at a time.
Right.
I don't know, play it by ear, fingertip. I don't know. Right now, there's a couple of things that are really urgent to get done. I have a really, really important phone meeting with United States at 1:00.
Amazing. Wow.
Huge export move. So
Could it be Trump? Because we have a couple
No,
of things that you
no.
can say to him.
I don't think I'd want to do business with him because I would have done business with him 25 years ago when I was 35.
Right.
I'm 60 years old now, and I can't afford being around people that I'm not happy with. So today, there has to be an add value to whatever I do because I want to work with people that I trust.
So in the world, some person that you would love to connect and work with, it could be anyone
Oh,
that you would not already have been working with.
If there was one person, it would be a person that had technical qualities.
Right.
Because that's my weakness, and I definitely wouldn't want to work with another me.
A genius.
No, I'm
A
not
marketing genius.
I'm
pretty much.
I get the job done.
Yeah.
I get the work done at a low cost.
Yeah.
One parameter that when I work with someone and I ask them to do something and they say yes, then I never want to ask again. Have you done it? Have you finished it? I want to understand within myself that's a handshake. That's a deal.
Wow.
So people that I trust get the job done
Right.
and understand what I'm really fucking bad at.
So we're talking about Elon Musk.
Yeah, he's one of them. But I'm not high on superstars.
Yeah.
I don't idolize the classical heroes. I idolize when I go to the gym, which I did when my back was okay. I'm not the most impressed by the super deft, muscular pumped up. No, I'm more psyched and fucking inspired by the 73-year-old overweight lady that runs on the treadmill for the first time.
Totally get it.
She's my hero.
Yeah.
And that's one upside of having had the successes that I have had is I've had this opportunity to come close to my own former heroes. Because you idolize people when you read about them, and the closer to them you come, the more afraid you get because do I deserve to sit next to Petter Stordalen or whoever? But then again, the closer to them you get, the more you understand that they're the same fucking jackass as you are. Seriously.
Yeah.
And every business idol
you.
that I've met, I mean, they're nothing.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm something. I don't know. But I have torn down every single poster from my walls with pictures of my heroes, and I've put up pictures of myself.
That's amazing. That must at least help your confidence.
When I'm alone.
Right.
When I'm alone.
Yeah,
That's why I always work alone. I love to be alone.
Wow. Amazing. Great, man. In this podcast, we also have a segment.
Mhm.
The segment is called True or False.
Okay.
And you have done a lot of shit in your life. This is going to be pretty easy for you. So I would give you a statement, and you will just say if it's false or
Okay.
true. Okay?
All right.
All right. first question.
Uh-huh.
Copyrightable is the longest word in the English language that can be written without repeating a letter.
Yeah.
It's false. It's uncopyrightable, but it was very close.
Yeah, but
It's a tricky question.
Well, I didn't see two similar letters. Though.
Exactly. That's good. That's good. Okay, second question. Thomas Edison, who invented the light bulb, was afraid of the dark.
No.
He was actually afraid of the dark.
Oh.
Yeah. Third question. Other than water, coffee is the world's most popular drink.
What if I was going to say beer, but sure, coffee.
That is true.
Yeah.
1/3 of the world is actually consuming. I would say vodka, seeing as there's a lot
Well, that's
of
because you're half Russian.
Exactly. Exactly. You're doing great, my man. Fourth question. China syndrome is what hostages experience when they begin to feel empathy for their captors.
No, that's false.
True. That's great. You're picking up points, man. You have 3 left, okay? Dracula was a real life figure in history.
I don't know. I know for a fact that it's a pinball machine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
You know, I compete in pinball
Yeah.
worldwide.
And you won a master championship, or what was it?
I have world and European and Swedish titles.
Yeah, like nothing. You say it like it's nothing.
Yeah, but it's fun.
It is
Dracula
fun, yeah.
was, of course, a real human being.
Completely right.
Yeah.
Wow. Good job.
But that wasn't his name. That was his nickname, wasn't
Exactly. 15th century. I don't remember his real.
it? No. Yeah.
Yeah, that's completely right. 2 more to go. The deadliest weapon of World War I was the machine gun.
No.
That was actually true.
Was it?
Yeah, because they had a strategy of having frontline runners,
Uh-huh.
and they would just go up from these graves that they had, shelter graves, and just run. And imagine seeing
And go
that.
for it, yeah.
But okay, and then we have the last question. Pigs cannot see the sky.
Oh, yes, they can.
That was actually false.
No, they can be on their back.
I checked that, but it's physically impossible for them to see the sky. Like they don't have the muscle on their back.
Oh, you mean all by themselves?
Right,
sure, but they can
exactly.
walk up hills.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah.
They can. But you
So half a point.
half a point. You did great.
No.
Absolutely amazing. You passed these terrorizing questions, and we had a
What fucking question.
yeah, they
Anyway,
are.
okay.
So as a conclusion, for young people that's starting their careers, because we have a lot of young professionals that are listening around
Yeah.
the world.
Love them.
Yeah, and they're the future, you know.
They're not only the future for themselves. They're they're going to be the future employers and
Definitely.
taxpayers.
Definitely.
So we need them.
So what would you say to them?
Oh, I can only refer to myself. I don't see myself as a teacher in any sense, but I would recommend to take evening classes in marketing economics to understand and have a platform from which to be crazy. Because if you know that there's someone, a goalie behind you, you don't have to look over your shoulder.
True.
And you can go out there and be the striker.
Right.
So learn about marketing economics, basic economics. It would also be to don't try to be better than everybody else. Be your own best. And I can get down to the boring facts.
No problem, man. That's what we're here for.
Always understand that, things are going to cost more than you want them to, and they're going to bring in less money than you expect them to, and for sure it's going to take a little bit longer than you want it to. And those 3 insights are, carry them with you and have patience. But also, if you, when I took my pilot's license, my teacher said to me, he said, You know, now once we're on the runway and you give full throttle, imagine a line far up ahead. If we are not in the air by then, pull back.
Huh.
Or you will end up in the salad.
Yeah. That's a good.
And that's how I think now in business. Dare give up. Swallow pride. Your kids. And what you do today will be your future look back point of the success 30 years later.
Yeah.
But just do a lot.
Yeah.
Do a lot. Send letters to the government.
Love that.
And talk to the person that you see being lonely.
Yeah. Amazing, man. What about getting in trouble with cops?
No, but you know
that be
what?
part of it?
You know what? Don't hesitate of picking a fight.
Yeah, yeah.
If so, on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Definitely.
You know, the book that we just turned in yesterday, which is a book about business. It's a pure business book.
What's that name? So we can.
I can't say the name of the book yet.
Right. You're so secret, man. You're so secret.
It's a book published by Petter Stordalen, by the way.
Cool. That's really cool.
And it's a book about the fourth industrial revolution. It's definitely a the first line of the book is go fuck yourself. That's the first line of the book.
Amazing. Wow. I am super confident that a lot of people are gonna buy that book.
Yeah, and I really hope that everybody won't love it. I need to have 7 or 8% at least of the readers to hate it.
No worries. The world is so big, you will have a lot of dislikes.
Yeah.
Don't worry about
without friction, no warmth.
Yeah, that is true. And that is a great summary for this episode. And thank you so much for having the time. And good fucking luck with your call in the States.
This was fun.
Yeah,
This
thank
was
you.
fun.